If I woke up tomorrow in 2026 with $0 in my bank account, no safety net, no savings, and no one to bail me out, I wouldn't panic. I wouldn't hustle harder. I wouldn't chase motivation. I'd do something far more important. I'd step back and look at how the game is actually being played right now, not how it was played 10 years ago. Because most people don't stay broke due to lack of effort. They stay broke because they're following outdated rules in a system that quietly upgraded without telling them. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The biggest wealth transfers don't happen during booms. They happen when people are confused, distracted, and emotionally exhausted. And 2026 is shaping up to be exactly that kind of environment. So if you're watching this and you feel behind, stuck, or unsure where money is even supposed to come from anymore, this isn't motivation, this is strategy. Before we go any further, if you value calm, clear breakdowns like this that cut through the noise, make sure to like the video and subscribe to Finance Simplified. It tells the algorithm this content matters, and it helps more people escape bad financial advice without hype or pressure. Now, let's talk reality. In 2026, the biggest advantage isn't capital, it's positioning. Most people assume money comes first and strategy comes second. That's backwards. Institutions don't wait for certainty. They position early, then let time and probability do the work. If I had $0, the first thing I do is stop trying to make money and start trying to understand where money is already quietly moving. Right now, most headlines focus on inflation cooling, interest rates stabilizing, and markets normalizing. That language is dangerous. When the media says normalize, insiders hear reposition. Big money doesn't wait for confirmation. It moves during uncertainty while retail investors wait for clarity. That gap is where opportunity lives. The first strategic move I'd make is rebuilding my information diet. Not more information, better information. I'd stop consuming emotional news and start watching what institutions are actually doing, not what they say, what they allocate capital toward. Infrastructure spending, energy transition bottlenecks, defense supply chains, AI productivity layers, not consumer apps. Quiet sectors with long-term contracts, not flashy narratives. This is where most people fail. They chase what's already obvious. By the time something feels safe, it's usually priced that way. If I had $0, I'd treat my attention like capital, because attention is what trains your future decisions. Next, I'd focus on income, but not in the way most people expect. I wouldn't look for a dream job or a passion project. I'd look for proximity. Proximity to capital flows. Proximity to skills that scale. Proximity to people who make allocation decisions. The fastest way out of zero isn't grinding harder, it's placing yourself closer to leverage. That might mean working inside boring industries most people ignore: logistics, compliance, operations, financial reporting, risk analysis. These aren't glamorous, but they sit directly next to money. People who understand how money moves get paid before people who just work harder. At the same time, I'd keep my personal expenses aggressively flexible, not minimal, flexible. There's a difference. The goal isn't suffering. The goal is optionality. Fixed costs kill strategy. The less locked in you are, the faster you can pivot when opportunity appears. Institutions survive downturns because they stay liquid. Individuals should think the same way. Now, let's talk markets, because this is where most people either get lucky or get wiped out. If I had $0 in 2026, I wouldn't try to beat the market. I'd try to align with it. Markets don't reward intelligence, they reward patience and positioning. I'd focus on understanding cycles, not predicting tops and bottoms. Credit cycles, liquidity cycles, political cycles. These shape asset prices far more than individual news events. Here's something most people don't realize. Market manipulation doesn't look like conspiracy theories. It looks like incentives. Governments need stable markets. Banks need predictable risk. Corporations need consistent earnings.
When volatility spikes, narratives are deployed to calm behavior. When risk needs to be transferred, optimism is amplified. Watching how narratives change often tells you more than watching prices. Once I rebuilt income and understanding, only then would I start allocating capital, slowly, boringly, without emotion. I wouldn't chase overnight wealth. I'd aim for compounding control, small positions, long timelines, assets that benefit from structural shifts rather than trends. And I'd stay skeptical of anything that promises certainty. The real insiders don't speak in absolutes, they speak in probabilities. This is where mindset quietly matters, not motivation, but discipline. If I had $0, I'd stop comparing myself to people who got rich during abnormal market conditions. 2020 to 2022 created unrealistic expectations. That window is closed. A new one is opening, but it requires patience and clarity, not speed. This is also why so many smart people stay stuck. They're intelligent enough to see the risks, but too impatient to wait for asymmetric opportunities. The system rewards those who can sit still, while others react emotionally. As Finance Simplified often emphasizes, wealth isn't about predicting the future, it's about surviving long enough to benefit from it. Now, here's the part most people won't like. If I had $0, I wouldn't try to escape the system immediately. I'd learn to use it before trying to beat it. The system favors predictability, but it also rewards those who understand its blind spots. Learn the rules, learn the incentives, learn where efficiency breaks down. That's where opportunity hides. And finally, I'd protect my psychology. No doom scrolling, no lifestyle inflation, no desperation trades. Emotional stability is an underrated asset. The calmer you are, the better decisions you make. The better decisions you make, the less luck you need. This isn't a promise of fast wealth. It's a framework for not staying broke in a world that's quietly getting more complex. If this perspective helped you think differently, drop a comment and tell me which part surprised you the most. Share this with someone who's working hard but still feels stuck. And if you want more calm, strategy-first breakdowns like this, make sure you're subscribed to Finance Simplified. Because the people who win the next phase won't be the loudest. They'll be the ones who understood what was happening while everyone else was distracted.